Got no issues with Sentinels honestly playing a few of the comfort picks here. No Astra coming through from the NRG side. And obviously it is going to be Sentinels picking up Zombs and the Astra pretty much as possible at this stage.
The opening rip is going to be very fast, very furious. Shazam will find first blood, making the play right onto A. Android trying to get some help from Zom, and boy, has he found it. EU also getting the mix, so the defensive rotation from NRG. Goodness, it was quick. And a little bit of help from just some friends from above. Android, I'm sure, is just surprised to be alive through all of that.
I know, I mean, that was what a fast round it was. Sentinels diving straight on towards A. No stoppage there. Shazam dashing in. And NRG, fast rotations, made it happen on that defense. So it ended, I mean, we didn't get a plant. We didn't get any sort of long round there that could have gone any further into any sort of post-plant. NRG showed up. They got the frags required. And Sentinels, I mean, good early speed up, but not enough frags to hold on, at least for that particular round. Let's see what happens in this anti-eco.
Early wall has become kind of a ceremonious placement, but how about this peek from Taps right over the corner? Will take down 2. Maybe Sentinels not necessarily expecting the aggressive peek, and they might not even expect it the second time, as Sam was maybe considering maybe just a jump peek to see if he can open up some space for the Reyna. And Android off screen will find elimination. EU around the corner. Sick does find 1. Underneath, Zoms will take down 2 more, so hold on a second. All of a sudden, a 3v2 turns into a 2v1 the other way.
Zoms can't get the gun, though, over the wall, so he's going to just work with the Frenzy for now. It's Sick on the Spectre that can really get a lot of work done. That wall is still available, so at least the 1-star, I think, for Zoms. So this 2v1, you have to say, is looking like it'll go the way of Sentinels. NRG only have techs available. The good news for techs is full armor, full utility, outside of losing 1 Cloud Burst. If we can isolate a couple of 1v1s, that would be the way to go, but getting over this wall is going to reveal information, and that's a dash gone already.
Very quick, right into the Cloud Burst. Gonna tag for the defuse. Both players of Sentinels stacked on top of each other, and Tex never fully checks the corner, so Sentinels, they respond back with some frenzies and some sheriffs, and all in all, what was a 2v3, the final 2 members survive and clutch things up for Sentinels for their first round.
Yeah, like you've seen this replay as well. They just don't realize that Zoms is right below them. Opening frags from Daps is great. They had everything going for them. This is NRG with a massive player advantage that goes pretty awkwardly when, you know, EU doesn't quite get the kill onto Sick either. So a couple of decent frags going back the way Sentinels, picking up a Spectre, forcing a 2v1. Unfortunate situation for Tex as well, having low utility just to get over the wall and losing the dash as well. I mean, in that 1v2, if you can get a kill, dash away and reset, then go for a last 1v1, that would be the play. But using the dash early means you can't do that. And well, how about this round though? Daps onto 6 straight away.
And this is something that NRG, I feel like, kind of defaults to more often than not, is when they're finding themselves down in eco, they'll try to play an aggressive angle on one side of the map, and it does find some success for them. Lear comes through. Android's position will be known, but Tens was already on the way from the high ground, not able to lock down shots. Fortunately, Zoms was there. Even exchanges thus far, although Som keeps things a bit interesting with this Sheriff 1-tap. But have to get some help from EU. None will be there. It's a second, not going to snap for the third. And this is where I feel like NRG, we really need to see them come to life early, because one of the biggest problems that I feel like they kind of had when they were playing up against Cloud9 Blue, especially in the Winners Final, and then again when they were playing up against Immortals, is when they find themselves down in the economy, they usually take maybe even arguably too long to get an economical even advantage, or maybe even find themselves some favor when it comes to what kind of cash they're carrying.
Well, the problem is they lost that second round. I mean, that's meant to be the anti-eco, and, you know, Sentinels, they finesse it out of the hands of NRG. Takes until the 4th round here for them to finally pick up rifles. By that time, you got Shazam looking at an operator. You got full rifles on board for the rest of Sentinels as well. Ultimate's about to come online. I mean, this is pretty do or die for NRG very early on. As far as economy is concerned, they lose this one. They go back to an eco. Pretty poor start at that rate. So let's see if they can make their way up into A. That's a shoulder spotted, by the way, from Shazam. So, and I wonder if Som knows it as well. If Som has spotted that, he'll need to call over some reinforcements. There's not a lot of NRG defense currently on A so far.
Well, the dark cover might lead towards that suggestion. Not exactly the sexiest gunfight we've ever seen from either Dapper or Som's POV, but NRG will still be happy to collect the first blood. 5v4, but the spike is being planted, and you can see the post-plant setup is largely relying on Shazam to lock down the angle from A ramps, of which he will be able to. So now a 4v4. Seeker's going to be used to try to open some space on the retake, maybe gain just a little bit of information. Sick on top of their own wall in the back of the site, using that as a little bit of a elevation advantage to contest any player's topside A tower. Things will come to a small pause for now. Tex was hoping to open up some of that A ramp space, but does not get her through. Tens with a second. Daps trying to do what they can, but as the situation starts to foil, you might just have to consider just backing away and hoping that you can find exits, or at least at worst save this weapon.
Daps is still going for something here. He's looking for exits over towards a lobby. Well, at least, no, can't quite get Zoms, who, by the way, I thought was maybe spotted by the Seekers. You saw the Seekers being deployed by EU. One of them didn't get destroyed, so Zoms' position probably up for grabs. That one kill from Tens, though, that resets, it gives him the dismiss to get away from being in the open. And really running out of time for NRG. Too many angles to clear. Couldn't quite get Zoms. Early plant as well. Shazam picking up multiple with that operator, holding down the line. Operator timing as soon as there's guns available for NRG. I mean, this is just snowballing the economy all the way from that second round that Sentinels took away from NRG, and still really uncomfortable for NRG currently. They have one Spectre on life for Som. That's pretty much it.
Defense stacking aggressively in the cyber cage. Flash will come through. Frenzy will find Dapper, who was supposed to be playing the lurking role. Trailblazer will confirm that there is no other Sentinel member here. But that means that, of course, the hit is coming pretty quickly. Brilliant slow orb, though. That will make a steep halt to what's coming through into B immediately, allowing a chance for NRG to rotate on, and Tex makes good on one, not going to find the second one tap. Cosmic Divide also providing a bit of a barrier, and Zoms will use that to their advantage, making it now a 2v2. Third contestant will also drop just up to EU, who does have the ability of maybe splitting this here, has the Spectre to play with. But the problem is you've got to check both left and right, sees the first, swaps now over to the AR. Only a little bit of damage confirmed on the Tens, who changes the angle, finds the kill, and Sentinels win their, fourth consecutive round here to go up 4-1.
Yep, and even if you kill Tens there, still has to go up against Zoms with the Gravity Pulse available. Would have made that last 1v1 quite difficult. I mean, not bad in terms of damage done if you consider that a lot of that was just Chef one taps, especially long range from Andrew. You see that long duel that Sick decided to take and couldn't quite land the shots long range via the Phantom, but Android just needs that one headshot on the Sheriff, and long range will find it. Good job by EU on the early round as well to find Dapper, so it was pretty close in that regard, but just lacking the actual equipment towards the end. We've seen this boost up plenty of times, and Dapper will get punished, so yeah, I mean, you got to expect that every single time you see this wall come up aggressive into A lobby, probably a Sage on top there.
You have to maybe admire some of the creativity, though, from Daps to try to change up the wall direction. I know that even Intero had brought it up that we've seen a lot of these Sages defensively just throw that wall right down middle. So there has been at least a little bit of differentiation being used for some of that Sage utility, but still relatively unsuccessful. I was going to say Sick has the ability to go freely into this Resurrection now that their barrier orb was placed, and that will make things back to a 5v4. Just keep in mind that you've got the Reyna long flanking through sewer that could blow up this play.
Som's been blown up. So this stage, Sentinels are trying to make their way on towards... It's going to come down to Dapper versus Android. And Dapper's getting really deep into attacker spawn again. Shazam is trying to hold down the line into Heaven. Tex is on the other side of that. Tex could be up for a multi-frag. Still has at least an updraft and a dash. Here we go. This needs to come up big, but can't get anything. So with that being shut down, Sentinels have massive numbers.
Oh, the Hawk actually does flash. A little bit of help from EU to allow Android to play this from the flank. They also isolate Zoms onto the hook itself over towards Elbow. EU finds another. Hold on a second. Now the Seekers come through, but Sick is able to respond before they can fully tag. And it's up to Android 1v2. Not going to get the better of Tens. A dire situation, nearly able to come through for NRG, but even in the end, it's still Sentinels looking solid, their 5th round in a row.
It's like another 1v2 for NRG as well. They found themselves in a lot of these situations. I feel like it's the 3rd 1v2 we've seen for NRG. But this opening from Tex, I mean, he needed to get a couple kills there. Oh, flashed out, the lair was beautiful. In the end, possible 1v1 opportunity. Tens comes up big. It's a close round though. I mean, it comes down to the fact that the res did have to get played very early. EU with the 2nd Seekers, by the way, so a lot done in terms of getting the ult charge for that Sky, and you don't see 2 ults being played this early in terms of actually farming that up. And hold up, speaking of farming, what's going on here? Sentinels have 2.
Yeah, you can even see there's another barrier orb placed defensively for Daps, this time through B main. The aggressive peek shut down. EU gonna have to be responsible for a couple. Finds the first, knows that there's a second off that flash that came out, but cannot find the ability to connect. Dapper also up top, gonna put a lot of pressure onto EU, who now moves a little bit further forward. This is a chaos ensuing push through with all of these walls in this tight choke point. Shazam will eventually get the elimination, leaving things down to Tex, who has pulled out the blades, finds the first, able to barely clip maybe one more deep in the corner. This would be a 1v4 situation. Gravity Well will slow things down, and Tex still has a bunch of utility to play with, so don't rule him out here. One more over through B main, and then eventually overwhelmed. The Zombs from below stayed completely concealed, and now 6 in a row for Sentinels as the trend continues.
EU honestly hoping for the best over towards B lobby as well. I mean, getting one more kill would have been great, but he's running into everybody from Sentinels, knowing that he's probably going to go down, trying to drag as many of the Sentinels down with him. That was the eco, though. I mean, if NRG win a Thrifty here, that would certainly bounce them back in the economy, and this is one of those few rounds where if you look at their money now, you have Tex on 1,000. That's only because he did play the Bladestorm, so he's got the most money because of that. 5 rifles, and most of them are down to pretty much 0 here. So 7 rounds in, we've only got the 1 for NRG. They really need to pick up some pace.
And even if you look at NRG just really briefly, you'll notice that Sam does not have a paranoia, and there's only 1 flash for EU. So this is going to be really interesting from how NRG want to set up their defense, knowing that their ability to counter a push might only have 1 chance to find success with it.
The Hawk's gone.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So EU's used that to clear out B main, so, you know, that's 1 less flash. To the point where there's no flashes now. I mean, look, Android will have a couple of layers. That's something to work with. Empress has been popped to the stage as well. Android hoping for a lot here. That's 10s on the other side. Can he do it, though?
I don't think
timing has to be really good, and Tens has shut him down. Tens slows an Empress, and that's the one big tool for Android, and also for NRG gone. And you talked about the fact that they got no utility. Now they got no members, trying to get the frags, trying to get a couple of counter trades. Come down to EU, but 1 versus 3. Only Tex alive. We've seen Tex be the last surviving member at least. I think this is his 3rd round where he's been the last alive. He's had a couple of 1v2s. This one's a 1v3. The last round was also a 1v3. He's got a gun, no Bladestorm, but still a hard job.
Oh, the hat of the Cypher will poke, so at least Tex will know that Dapper's playing on the ropes. And you just have to go back to that 1v1 between Android and Tens. The Lear from Android, I don't think fully got through on Tex.
He missed dash.
Yeah, tries to make the same play as he did a couple of rounds prior. Has to go to the reload. Sick is just running at him with Dapper. No problem there. Yeah, it just feels a bit unfortunate. Android going to get overwhelmed, and if that Lear hits, maybe there's a chance to read that the pressure was on, but as he throws that Lear out, it doesn't actually get through the floorboard, so Sentinels feeling very comfortable in the map. Take that to their advantage. A decent attempt for EU, who, by the way, is on their 3rd Seekers through 7 rounds, of which they've lost the majority of them.
Also saw Sentinels busting into B main there as well, so they end up doing a B split. Shazam, super patient. This operator's definitely found some value, and this is only the attacking half for Sentinels. They get better in the defensive half, which is a worry if you're NRG currently, because 7-1. 4 rounds left to play, including this. Early aggression being shown over towards mid. Nothing to make of it so far. I mean, there's ultimates available, there's the res available, there's the Seekers, like I said, 3rd Seekers of the half, but they just don't have the equipment. They need to find and isolate some kills here. Trap Sentinels in mid, or something. Currently, B's completely open as well, so if Sentinels are able to scout that properly, they can go straight onto B.
NRG are heavy rotating up to B tower, maybe even to consider retaking the middle of the map, and that definitely was the case as all 4 members were looking to peek, but as they do, they now recognize the next hit that's going to be coming out for Sentinels will indeed be onto the point themselves. Combat Divide is through. Sams has made his way onto the point, but cannot find the first elimination that he would have loved to have tallied just over the top of this barrier orb. And now you've even got Shazam playing with some elevation as Sentinels set up their post plant, which is largely just on top of this Cosmic Divide wall. Android will find a couple Tex and more. Okay, so hold on. Tex with this dark cover could pick up a rifle. Things could get interesting here in this 2v2. Daps playing the other angle. The 1 taps just continue to fall through. Daps will find it. Apparently, no ARs or SMGs required. They'll just get it all done with the pistols.
That's the round we're looking for someone like for a team like NRG, where a thrifty win is almost required this half to bounce back, or have any hope of bouncing back. I thought maybe the Seekers could have been played this round as well. If you're going to bust through the Cosmic Divide and really take the pistols into the face of Sentinels, really off the back of some utility like the Seekers to get you in would be ideal. they kind of walk up. I mean, it was Andrew that starts the game off. Daps to close it out. Tech's got a shot in there as well. Just a lot of Sheriff one-taps. And the fact that he even gets to low numbers is really concerning. I mean, you see the game plan as well for NRG on that retake. They know on the right side, as they go for the retake, the back of sight, there's going to be members. 2 of them were found. I think for Sentinels as well, I mean, with 5 alive, you got to play a couple of B-man, you got to be a couple into the back sight. And surprisingly, with the rifles, they weren't able to take down NRG fast enough, and one-taps, it's enough.
This has to lead to something, though, for NRG. Seekers coming through. Also the flashes, but look how quickly Sentinels are to back up, and that dark cover will essentially be the line in the sand. Maybe the trap wire also kind of helping assist on where exactly that line will be drawn. So everything resets, 1:10 seconds to play, and just the Seekers have been spent so far.
Util towards mid as well. Notice that Daps used both slow orbs and now has lost his life, just peeking Shazam, who, once again, the patience being shown in mid. Shazam just waits in mid with his operator, allows someone to peek from NRG, picks up a freebie. Now let's see what happens over towards Vents. Nah, EU can't get it done either, so that's going to be 2 kills for nothing. Daps, an opportunity to res because he was the first blooded. Options available for Sentinel straight into A heaven. Yeah, you already have Dapper on towards A main as well. Could it be that NRG can make something happen in the link? Som will at least get a frag, but that's 1 return.
He's got to go huge right here. Resurrection's going to come through, and Som is going to potentially reposition if he holds this, which he will. So into the sewer he goes to change the defense, and wait a second, Som has predicted this perfectly. If he gets his gun up here, there's an opportunity maybe to foil this rotation, but he's just maybe a little bit too late. One more player lurking behind this is Dapper for Sentinels as they try to get the spike planted. Hex finds one good opening first blood. Zoms will find a response, but that will be traded back in kind. 1v2, and Tex is stuck on site with just the Sheriff and an Operator, not going to be able to find the angle on the Sick. Operator recovered, and Sentinels continuing their winning ways.
That was nearly excellent for Som, but the timing was slightly off because obviously he's walking in sewers. He's not going to catch the timing on the Sentinels players. Rotating back through mid, he would have to be running for that, would give away his positioning. And then he's playing with his knives as he drops down from heaven onto B and just gets killed on the way down. Doesn't even need to wait for Dapper to kill him. And Tech stuck into another 1vx situation. And after getting a thrifty win and it looking like NRG was kind of giving Sentinels the cold feet there to push them off from A, Som nearly cutting them off. It was almost an excellent round coming through from NRG, but at this rate, the best they can do is 4 and 8, so 2 rounds to play for, and they're going to be buying up every single round because they have to play for all they can. Seeing now, by the way, NRG are kind of learning. You don't have Daps or Tex or anybody peeking early into Shazam's operator. Plenty have died to that so far.
They've reset kind of how they want to position this defense on top of the tower. Shazam misses the first shot, but Tex cannot capitalize on what was hopefully for them a free kill. So now Sentinels will recognize that there is a bit of a reposition here as far as what NRG are doing defensively, but are they still going to try to test this? First slow orb will dissipate, the second will take its place. And you still see a couple of Sentinel members are getting, well, maybe forced to get a little bit of cold feet trying to push through that slow orb. Still stacking in mail. You have to feel like this will eventually be the execute, but it just comes down to what will they use to try to get this peak off? Maybe it's just Shazam Tex holding. Finally, the kill comes through. Pens toggling with it. Android's position revealed, and that'll be a capitalization for Sentinels, a 2-for-1 trade, and what will largely be a free bomb site outside of the fact that Daps is holding the back corner.
Daps can't res. He can't res. He's too far away. He has to just hold it, like you said. Needs to go for a couple of kills here. Very important for Daps to do some damage. Instantly will get fragged by Dapper, so that's going to go poorly. NRG now only down to the 2 members versus 4. They are constantly on low team members. EU versus 4. It's probably not going to happen. Sentinels are looking towards a 9, and NRG just can't hold on, even though they got Shazam on the opening, which, by the way, I thought maybe Tens would at least throw out a lair for Shazam, allow him to peek with something, but they dry peek that one. They'll lose Shazam, but they'll pick up the round, and the operator goes straight back in the hands.
It just could help. I mean, hey, the simple fact is they're literally stacked on top of each other 1 by 1, so as soon as Shazam gets the information, even if he misses the shot, it's enough for the go call to be committed to for Sentinels. And the trades absolutely come through very cleanly for Tens, and a big requirement for Daps to essentially would have had to have found at least 2 kills to give that at least a chance for NRG to retake, but 9-2 all of a sudden, And like you mentioned, NRG are going to have to play for every single round. They've gone into a 4 spot here.
Bladestorm has been pretty successful for Tex in the past. When I say successful, I'm talking like he can hit some shots. He doesn't want to round with it. Fair as you have won many rounds to start with. That's a good start, though, for once again for Sentinels. And that does mean we're not going to be seeing a resurrection from Daps or NRG for the rest of this half. And look, they really need something like that. Previously, you saw Daps being caught out. Play it to the back of sight. No teammates close by. Android will return one. Can't quite pick up a gun, though.
Yeah.
We'll at least get a kill.
Yeah, the gun not being collected is actually pretty big, but he does get a second chance. Finds Dapper, who was trying to lurk through a tower. So now a 3v4. Numbers in favor of NRG's defense, but the weapons still very much so favoring Sentinels. EU holding alongside, to be fair, with Tex, who's only got a couple of knives left, remember, in B main. Shazam once again being the vanguard for this push. Comes through, but they don't fully
they have no idea.
This is going to be huge. EU finds the first knife battle, but it's EU for the trade. And it's up to Zombs. 1v3 situation, caught out in no man's land, and NRG are able to pick up another round.
Sentinels actually take the spike into B main as well. Like, they have no idea there's 2 players still in there. I believe it was Sick that was just going for the orb. Timing was excellent from NRG. Yeah, the Empress coming through from the backside also from Android, who would have been there for the pinch. So, the recovery onto the final round. Late, but we got there for NRG. Could have been a 10-2. 10-2 would be an absolute disaster. 9-3 is going to be extremely difficult. You have to hope now that NRG favor attacking side for Split, because we know that, look, we talked about it plenty. Sentinels defense on Split is solid. Like, they can go down bad.
Yeah.
Like, Sentinels can have a rough start. We've seen this in the past. Sentinels can go really poorly in their attacking half and still make a huge comeback on the defense. So NRG, if there's any gas in the tank, they need to be really pressing that pedal hard.
I mean, last that they did play Luminosity, they were able to take an even 6-6 offensive first half. But that's not going to be enough, obviously. Gravity Well actually soaks in a lot of this push. Dapper through the cyber cage for 1, gets away, gets the reload, and also gets a bit of help from Tens up top. And then after the reload comes through, Dapper will find the 3rd elimination in this round, also getting some self-sustain. Go call to just push through the barrier orb, but the slow orb will be there to delay. Tex, maybe an opportunity for a little mini pinch. No chance, and a flawless pistol comes through for Sentinels. They're now up 10-3.
Almost feels like exactly what we saw in the opening pistol, by the way, when NRG won that on the defense on A. Except this time it's the Sentinels way around. You have a very quick hit coming through from NRG. Like you said, it's the combination of not just the Gravity Well, but there was the trap wire there, the cage, everything slowing down the head. And that massive shot from Dapper overall on the Frenzy, I believe it will start with. Ten's getting that second frag, and then the rest of Sentinels showing up to get the clean. If you're NRG at this stage, I'm even contemplating possibly going for some sort of force, because, I mean, you've given Sentinels double digits here. There's technically enough rounds to play for, so they don't have to do it, but this will be the time we have to think about it. Well, the rifles are going to be too good, the SMGs are going to be too good. Tex will get one traded, but that's all so far.
Just quick hit coming through. The Nova Pulse will stop any further push through. But I just feel like it's only for a marginal amount of time. Daps, though, does line up a couple. Still 33 seconds away from being able to self-sustain and continue on to what is now a 1v2 situation. And we'll decide, let me grab this orb. And then just try to finesse as long as possible. Trap wire going to be a problem. And you feel like it's only a matter of time before the kill comes through. Which it will. 11-3. Sentinels up major in his first map on Split.
Oh, you might as well get as much ultimate charge as you can. 2 away now from
That's
the res.
fair.
Didn't quite get to use the res last half. Now that would have to be it. So this is the very important gun round.
1 second, please.
And this time it really is do or die. I mean, you lose this one, not only are you an eco, but you give 12 to Sentinels. And I'm still thinking, for me personally, if you really want to make a comeback happen, you have to win some of these thrifties. You have to be in a position where, for example, that second round, like what Sentinels did, where they won that second round. Sure, they didn't quite force, but NRG, that would have been a huge run for them to win for the purpose of a comeback. Now it's going to have to come through the standard way, the vanilla way, the default way. Gun round for the 3rd round of the half, and it has to be pretty good, because look how many rifles are online for Sentinels as well.
Also keep in mind, as we continue on with the perspective of this NRG push through the middle, that the spike is also down beyond A. Shazam going to be tested and does walk away with one. That's not bad considering the circumstances. Dark cover. Hawk moving through. Spike will now be trailed back to get collected. Sentinels defense has largely rotated, and Zoms is going to be tested. He does provide one elimination. Also sees Daps in the corner. Sick try to take good on that, but it's NRG from the high ground who do take the eliminations, leaving Zoms by themselves, waiting for help from Dapper. This is a 2v2. Spike has not made its way forward yet, and they're trying to isolate Dapper first. Beautiful call, and now you know you can safely rotate to B for a free plant.
And Zoms is really far behind here, 79 HP. A little bit of util remaining. All's going to slow things down considerably, so I guess it would depend on which way Zoms decides to path. This is rough. I mean, that 1v1, I mean, when you see Dapper's positioning, it's like, oh man, Dap's getting that one kill. That does everything in the round, and with EU watching the stairs, watching the cross, Zoms probably didn't have much of a chance anyway. He would have to expect that somebody was going to be waiting there. Really, that 1v1 in heaven, that decides the entire round at the end.
And big props, I think, to NRG to recognize the fact that we know that one's still lingering on site. The last one has to be rotating, so let's just make sure we control this high ground and eventually just hope that we catch this rotation, which they do, and then it's an easy call to go back. EU, of course, as you mentioned, the wall was placed middle, would slow things down on one end. EU does it the same way through the defensive spawn. So a good round there for NRG. Obviously a must win because they would have been on an eco going into a 3-12, but now an opportunity to take good on an economical advantage that they for the first time really they actually have here.
Yeah, because I mean Sentinels don't get to play their bonus here, and they bought up right. They had all the rifles, which means they go into this round with honestly not a lot. NRG can snowball their economy a decent amount off this round. Are they going to expect this double up though? This totem pole is going to be really effective. Shotguns all over the neural theft as well. What's that though? Oh man, you do need to see 10s. Keepers, crosshairs on target, and they drop the two members.
And then Shazam pushing through the off angle over towards A main, but of course, NRG have now essentially granted the site for free. EU once more will be watching for rotators, and Shazam will be the first one up. Beautiful headshot there, turning the attention back up top. Finds the second. Now Sam is here to help. Should be a trade, and there is. A costly round, at least as far as who survives, but still a successful one for NRG.
And they shut down Shazam as well, because otherwise Shazam on that flank with the rifle could have made things very difficult for NRG. And credit to Sentinels for having that double up over towards B, where, you know, the shorty plus the Bucky, I mean, they nearly got more frags as well. And NRG got heavily penalized there. They were looking like, you know, if the trades there for NRG don't go positively, where they can't break that entire heaven hold, I mean, that's just 2 guns forfeited. So NRG eventually get control of B, get the plant down, they get the round, but at the cost of 3 members. Economy's still not quite safe. The Wolf's able to forward motion, gets taps on his Spectre though, checking over towards B, and that slow actually prevents the Trailblazer from getting full information.
Yeah, that's not exactly the most efficient use of utility. The Seekers are also going to be committed, but Stapper is able to find one. And that will, I mean, this entire push for NRG is essentially just a baby. The spike is lingering A. So all of these numbers that are being committed, at a certain point you have to wonder, is it truly worth it? And finally, Sam will go ahead, get to from the shadows, find one on the response, but as Shazam rotates, he will do so in kind. So now a 2v4 post plant for NRG. Android will go straight into the Empress. He's about to be tested, will only find one. It's up to EU. Good luck, have fun, wrong site.
That's the thing, right? He's so far away here. He's trying to lurk on B to try to find any stragglers. Could there be anyone still hanging out there? Looking for the last person rotating. And it's going to be a free defuse. I mean, EU's here. He's not even confident enough to try and go for any shots because Tens is there. They will take him down. No issues. Appreciate that Android went for the Empress, tried to make the play happen, but there were so many members of Sentinels flooding through into screens. Wasn't going to be doable for Android. Unless Android gets a single kill and dismisses away, that would have been the only way he gets anything done there, and that would have slowed things down for EU to make that rotation. But Android would have to go large at screens, and unfortunately he doesn't get a kill.
I mean, it would have had to been a spray down of all spray downs. All 4 Sentinels members were coming that direction. Which we've seen things like that from Android. Let's not get things twisted, but it would have been an incredible moment for him nonetheless. Blade Storm now popped, as NRG are making this move offensively. Dap's gonna throw some consideration to the top side of A Heaven, and well, how about it? Tex might consider to do the same through Vents. You see that's push through for the side of NRG is focusing on that rotation specifically. Shazam, first one up, finds the first shot, able to cloud burst in, get away safely while also maintaining the dash. So this angle can continue to be held. Second contestant, not gonna meet the same fate rather. And that will mean that the resurrection will come down, but Zom's on the site itself, not too bad. Shazam getting aggressive, finds one more. So the number's still even at 3v3 until Dapper comes up from behind, finds a collateral lineup, leaving EU in a 1v2 situation. Flash will be good, finds the first kill on a blinded Shazam, and now a 1v1 where Tens is lurking behind this play.
Has no idea what Tens is. And if he trusts the situation, he will go for the plant, which he does. Tens with full utility though. 2 layers could be important. The timing is going to be everything. There it is. EU with 3 this round. Saves the day. And EU, by the way, allowed Dapper to get into heaven. They don't spot each other. 2 ships sailing across each other in the night. Dapper gets 2 kills. I thought maybe the round was going to be over from this. This is what I'm talking about. Dapper gets through. EU turns around like, holy cow, how did this guy get past me? And then saves it by getting the last kills, or 3 total, the plant included. Maybe he heard Tens dropping down. I'm not too sure exactly what it was. We'll give NRG a little bit more to play with. Still trailing by 6 rounds, but I mean, this is not going to be NRG going quietly.
Putting up one heck of a fight, that's for darn sure. Shazam now with the knives, as Sentinels will largely be on a safe. Dap's getting aggressive, finds the first cyber cage through the shorty, will find an elimination. Now an opportunity maybe to grab the weapon, but Dapper will not be able to get away. Next one up is Sick. Can he be pressured by EU, who holds down the trigger, finds the kill. Shazam keeping things interesting from behind, but eventually be put in the ground, and it's just up to Zoms for a 1v3. Does have a Spectre to work with, but is flashed beyond recognition, and NRG will find the easy kill in a couple of rounds in a row now.
Now he's mega flash. That's like every single flash hitting him. They don't even get a plant in. The spike was hanging out on Ramen that entire time, and NRG trying to be safe with it, like they don't want to drop a spike in a bad place, but they just get all the kills. I mean, look at the confidence, by the way. That kill onto Sick over towards the stairs. We're just running at him. I think that was EU running at him. Hilarious. That's NRG confidently playing up against Sentinels in what was Sentinels Eco, but back on Sentinels game plan now, rifles in hand, Shazam on the operator, and I gotta say, by the way, Shazam has been very consistent on the operator. Like, yeah, he's missed a couple of shots, but those opening frags, those first bloods, when NRG are trying to get onto a site, and that has been fairly consistent.
Look for Sentinels to stay a bit aggressive defensively here. They have no trap wires, no utility at all from Dapper because of where their economy is. So it's largely just weapons and then whatever Zoms can do with the star placement. So the initial push through that you were looking at from Sentinels to the middle of the map, I was going to say, was largely unsuccessful, but Sick turns that conversation the other way as he does find one elimination before trailing back to A tower.
And it feels like Sentinels can do this pretty consistently, and even now, Dap's like, I better wall this one up. Whether that's Shazam able to just find a pick with the operator, peek through, dash away, somebody from NRG walking into the operator, been pretty good. Tex right now trying to get some attention over towards B. He's pulled over 3 members. While that's happening, the Seekers and the rest are trying to make their way on towards A, and this is what I'm talking about. When NRG try to get on a site, Shazam is there, and he will get the first kill.
Oh, beautiful hold from Daps. The resurrection into Shazam will be free as Zoms is able to find Som in return. Daps up top. Spy cam was placed to keep A tower safe. The spike is also down at A, which Sentinels obviously know at this point. And Daps really can't do anything until Tex gets here, still rotating through defensive spawn.
This entire round rests upon Tex, the single 1v1.
Wow.
And there it is. Sick will find the shoulder straight through the wall as well. You know, Daps, his time is limited. This is done for. Daps cannot do it. Stick with 3 kills. Sentinels 13 and 7, and that was off. And honestly, for me, I don't mind the fact that we've got 1 less Astra here. It's going to make things a little bit easier to cast, I'll be honest with you.
Nice, yeah, fair.
But, you know, Zoms and Sick, they'll stick to their guns. And for the rest of Sentinels, they'll do what they need to here. Tens on the Jet was honestly still, you know, Tens on the Jet is always a massive threat. So that's something that's got to be dealt with from the NRG side of things. No Jet for NRG does, you know, weird me out a little bit, though. I'm so used to seeing Tex play that.
How about that repeat from Sick? Counter curveball, but it's going to be an even 1-for-1 exchange. Tens needs to decide which direction he wants to look and chooses incorrectly as Tex finds the next elimination, giving a numbers advantage to the side of NRG's offense. Sick waiting for help, and well, Shazam will be here alongside Dapper as well. The spike has been planted. We stay even numbers 3v3. Recon Bolt will go out. Not going to really reveal too much, but now the retake is coming very full force, but nobody checks underneath Hell. And Android, well, he's only good for one of what looked to be a pretty easy lineup for two, so it actually responds to just being on the Daps. Daps v Dapper, and how about the Cypher v Cypher battle? Daps will clutch things up in the 1v2.
Yeah, Daps v Dapper on Cypher is not going to get confusing today at all, gentlemen.
No, not at all.
Huge long-range picks on the Frenzy. When I was seeing that situation, I'm like, no, this is probably not going to happen for Daps, because Frenzy at that range, I mean, his shots have got to be mega accurate, and they were, so good cleanup. Like I said, again, NRG Android in Hell wasn't checked properly. That first counter sick was so beautiful. Snapper to Dapper here as well. So, pistol going the way NRG, which definitely helps them. 5 Spectres. Obviously, we're not playing for any Blaze Storms or anything. Very quick here for NRG to take that first orb.
And even beyond that, EU's going to get an early scout out as far as what's going on over towards Tree. Tags one, sees a second. The hot hand's down to delay the push initially, but it might only delay it for a small time because the spike is making its way over. Som carrying. Nice little shock dart to push back Tens as well from the angle. So now the take is coming through. First blood good for Tex. They, of course, know that there are some players that are still lingering over through Tree. And speaking of lingering, how about Daps through the middle of the map? Cuts off one rotation. And now Sentinels, they have to decide, do we want to try to isolate this player in middle or try to come back for an opening kill on the retake here on the site itself?
I know they're only using pistols, but this retake was going to be rough anyway. Shazam going down means no opportunity for a recon, and this is NRG trying to push in. I mean, they know they lost a member, so ideally they don't give away the Spectre. Dapper's going to try his best, so over the wall, can't get it done. He will recover, so that's going to be NRG 4 alive, and full confidence as well, just running into the spawn of Sentinels, knowing that after Daps revealed his positioning, he was going to get pinched by 3, and how about the counter pinch?
Yeah. Beautiful stuff. And now we get into an NRG round that it looks like Android will forfeit over his Spectre and then purchase up a Vandal. He does have to run it back, so that could be win condition in the face of what is Sentinels with weapons. But again, keep an eye on Dapper. No utility whatsoever. So honestly speaking, Android might be a little bit more free than normally expected with this run it back, pending he finds an opportunity to use it.
I mean, that's also because he found that orb earlier as well. I mean, they've been feeding ult charge over to him. I don't know if he planted the spike or not, but it wouldn't surprise me at this stage, because getting a fast ultimate for a round 3 timing is huge for a team like NRG, and one hero rifle here can definitely get it done. Oh my goodness, Tens nearly killed Android there. A couple more shots that hits to the head would have taken away that runner back. It will be the 1-0 so far in terms of that duel.
And there's the run it back. Comes right over the top of the curveball, but immediately denied. Opens up space at least for Tex to come through and then dismisses right back. So the kill's good for NRG. And you got to keep in mind, the spike was never a part of this play. It was already making its way through the middle of the map. So now that Som has cleared space on A, Zoms will have to be responsible for a couple. And it's a beautiful snap onto the first. Very cleanly done. Trying to repossess the high ground. Will be successful in that for now. But the spike has gone down. And honestly speaking, NRG are delaying this hold. They still have 2 members lurking mid-map.
Waiting for Utah to come back online. Recon is not quite there for Shazam yet. Is there for EU, and with EU down, that's going to be rough. 3 versus 3, and suddenly looks so much better for Sentinels. Android's obviously still on the other side of the map. Android's the one that really need to worry about, because he's got the rifle in hand. And there it is. It's Tex and Android for all the kills.
Wow, that is such an interesting call from the side of NRG. You have 4 members that are surviving. You keep the plant +1 on the site, but both of your duelists are playing through Tree or Garden. Neither of them are actually part of the hold. Maybe trying to see if they could flush out utility from Sentinels on their retake attempt and then leave them completely dry. Maybe the case, but regardless, those are impressive wins in the end to keep NRG up now 3-0.
A 3-0 really hurts the economy of Sentinels. Feel like we're, running Groundhog Day on this map for Sentinels, considering they did lose it to Ambox, and a lot of that did come down to, just having no money. Opening mid as well. Could see a bit of action. Texas is kind of surrounded by 2. I say surrounded, I mean there's 2 close by, and that includes Tens, who's the other side of the wall. Could this be contact? Dapper is trying to peek for it. Yep.
What a peek that is for Tens. I don't know if his position was ever fully revealed, by the way.
So Dapper sees Tex and then makes the call for the actual peek itself. And while that's all happening, we're actually onto A. The Spike is not a part of this play at all. Just the 2 alive now, 2 rifles. This could be a thrifty. Things go well.
EU's going to be isolated here. I mean, the Spike is still behind the push through A main. So now EU, who's caught on a reel of this, is eventually going to go over one, finds the first, but Dapper from behind gets the kill. So the neural theft gets spent. I mean, this feels like there was a bit of miscommunication as far as what NRG actually wanted to do with this round. Now you've got Daps in a 1v2, and the last 2 members for Sentinels have ARs to play with.
I think EU committed too hard there. If EU didn't make such a hard commit, he could have actually backed out. They could have recovered Spike on towards B. Daps had full control over towards B. And Sentinels have actually given up. I say given up, they're still hanging around A, but they're not close enough. They're not really fighting for it. They've recovered the guns, which makes the job for Daps that's much more difficult. At least he's got a lot of utility. He's got a plant that he doesn't trust it. The problem is Daps believes they're close by, and now they are.
And here comes the swing. Daps finds the first, but is not going to be allowed an opportunity to even see the second. Maybe post-round there's an opportunity for the kill, but no, not going to happen. So a thrifty round for Sentinels, and that could breathe some life back into the lungs of Sentinels fans across the Twitch chat.
Yeah, it's an awkward round from NRG, though. Like, again, the Spike was so far away. They pushed quite aggressively on towards A. Has to be Daps rotating back in, and it starts with this peek from Tens, by the way, and courtesy to Dapper, who allowed that peek to even happen. And here you just see EU caught between a rock and a hard place. Like, where's EU supposed to go? He's so deep on site, like, there's no exit strategy there. There's no way to meet up with Daps. There's no way to delay. The Sentinels, can they make that convert into further rounds? You have Operator in the hands of Tens, and Operators have been quite nasty for NRG to play into, at least onto split.
The Sentinels defense is pretty forward here. You've got a pretty heavy stack of utility over towards B. Tens with an operator playing up through a catwalk. And then you also have Sick, who could contest middle at any given moment. This first shot's gonna have to be big, and Tens tries to correct the low-sided aim for something a little bit higher, but misses. And Sick also commits to run it back, not gonna find too much there. Second peek off the curveball also comes up empty.
I think Android just, feels the bullet whiff pass in between the legs probably there. And we'll be happy to keep his legs for now. No heal required. Well, he doesn't have to heal himself. Operator's still there, though, so they have to really throw in a lot of utility. There's plenty of flash. That Operator shot will go wide. The gravity well, though, slowing things down.
What in the world? Tens finds one through the dark cover and then swaps to the classic if the gravity well came through like you called, and they get a second elimination. So NRG's entire push through tree stalled, denied. Sam is going to try to play for a plant, but is only on 6 HP, so you're looking at EU to do something here. Does have the Hunter's Fury, but there's really no way he's going to get away from this site. He's got to try to fight this up close, and although they find one, the trade is there. Numbers favorable for the side of Sentinels. Retake with Tex by themselves. The aim just a touch too far up to the right, and Sentinels retake again, going to be good.
Tex was far away. He was lurking over towards Catwalk that entire time. I think he was waiting for the 1v1 versus Shazam. Finds it, gets the free heal. But his teammates are dying on site, and Tex needs to get on towards A as fast as possible. Whiffs versus Sick, I believe it was. If he gets that kill, he resets again. Dismisses away, heals up to full, and that last 1v1 is scary for Sentinels because Tex is on a roll at that stage. He's ready to go. But it's just not going to connect the shots, and as far as the team play goes, man, like, I think if Tex was just there instead of waiting for Shazam, like, Shazam probably pinches eventually, but Tex, if he goes off on the side itself, that could have been much better. A lot of what-ifs here. Sentinels are starting to catch up now. It was sitting at 0-3, not that even that long ago. Got 2 in a row. Still have the Operator in hand, Sick for that early action, and Tens will be here to hold a line. That's actually great from Sentinels because if you are NRG, you think A lobby could be clear because you hear someone walking away. Little do you know, Tens are still there. Is going to miss, sadly, so no early kills, at least not yet.
Tex at a pretty forward spot mid-map, but there will be a trapwire to keep him honest. Spike, with a bit of an entourage, is considering going back over towards A, and the trapwire is deleted, so it's just down to how do Sentinels want to deal with this isolated player, and how about Tens take an aggressive peek. Beautiful stuff there, and that's going to be good for first blood. Sentinels now also recognizing with this Aldrum, this very well could be a play coming over, but Android in the run it back has already found one elimination. Tries to shut the door in the play. Blazewall will come through. Sam trying to plant. Sick wants to contest early, but it's Daps watching over the top to find the trade. Now a 4v3 situation. EU is very low, but as the neural theft will come out, Sentinels are going to have to do something incredible for this retake. And it just comes down to who's going to go first, really, because the recon bolt is one of the only big pieces of utility they have as far as a retake is concerned. Shazam up top, just spamming, gets blessed with the kill onto Sam. That's completely blind. The Cosmic Divide also now in play. Here comes the retake. All three Sentinel members from the same angle. Down low, Shazam able to only find one so far, but it's Daps in a corner. Tally 4 for the Cypher, and NRG take a pivotal round to go up 4-2.
NRG thankful Daps goes up there because Android's honestly sitting around. I was watching Android for a lot of that round where he's just chilling in A main. I don't know why he's looking flank. They use the neural theft. They know no one's there. I mean, at least things start out well for NRG to get the trades required. That kill to Sick was really, really good. Tens, by the way, does go for a bit of a dry pick to challenge the runner back. He didn't have a dash. He used a dash earlier. He gets the leg onto Sam and then obviously gets the kill onto Tex. And he dry picks into Android, which I thought was a bit risky, so they gave away that kill for free. Tens and, you know, the rest of NRG, rest of Sentinels rather, definitely made that round quite a bit more difficult than Daps the 4K towards the end to make sure that NRG now pick up the lead, force an eco onto the side of Sentinels. Sick with a judge. That's the only gun.
Peek from Tens. He will tag the torso of one. Still has a lot of knives to play with, and also read the information that there were a couple of members that are stacked through B main. Now here comes the hit. Right click, not going to fully connect. Tex able to stay alive for their second kill. Now pushing forward. And maybe the timing is good, but he runs right into the full brute force of a judge. So nice trade back. That's going to be a free weapon upgrade as well, as Sick will collect that. Shazam will pick up the judge. Spike planted. 4v3, still numbers favoring that of NRG's offense. Here comes the retake. Beautiful curveball. That'll find one for free, but Android there to follow up, and it'll leave Zoms down to a 1v3 situation through mid-market.
Has to find a timing on Android. Can't get it. Android did have his back turn for just a little bit, but the spider senses were tingling. Turns around. That's a freebie onto Zoms. Not quite free, but get the kill anyway for 3 kills. 5 and 2 now. Still just keeping the lead in. That was the thrifty, though, from Sentinels, so not expecting too much from any of the Sentinels on that round, despite, you know, any sort of leeway that the judge gives you. Now it's the rifles coming on in. It looks like equipment value is, despite having guns, you know, we're missing some armor on Tens.
Yeah.
There's going to be a little, you know, bits and pieces missing as far as utility goes for the rest of the members. It'll be mostly there, though, just to run it back for Sick, and hopefully they can use that to find some value because they don't really have much else to work with.
Just to kind of speak to the statistics of this map, NRG's defense is technically their stronger half by a country mile. 71% of their defensive rounds they win. Only 46% of their attacking rounds. So the fact that they're already gone 5 is a steep improvement for them here in this matchup versus Sentinels, who, just to kind of speak to their statistics, also their defense, their stronger half. So good work so far for NRG. Opportunity still brewing to find maybe even more. 10's going to be tagged up pretty heavy. Second challenge, not going to be all that good. And now the hit starting to potentially come through. Sick going to go to an early run it back, feeling the pressure, but NRG are just going to back away, and this will find really no value. And beyond that, is also going to exhaust both the curveballs.
Has given Sentinels full control back over towards A, and with that NRG back out, Spike's now rotating. Mid is being challenged currently by NRG. Time's kind of running out, though. They've lost control of the map. They don't quite have B. They don't have mid. They're hanging out in A. And, you know, as we did see with the runner back, despite not getting any kills, allow Sentinels to take control of that also. So as we head below 30 seconds, I mean, with the Android down especially, this attack is not going well.
EU feeling the pressure right into the Hunter's Fury. No eliminations there. Zoms in a corner, able to find one. Sick helping for the second, but Daps will eventually leave some sort of an opening. 10 seconds onto the clock. Have to find these kills, and EU finds them quickly. To the knife, and then to the plant they go. Dapper 1v2. He's going to see Daps' weapon, but the door will quite literally shut on this play. Also catching him mid-reload. Daps able to clean things up, and NRG find themselves on 6.
And that's huge from EU. I mean, drops the Hunter's Fury in, finds a couple of frags straight away afterwards as well, despite losing Android early. They just pressed the W key, and this two-piece right here is really awesome from EU. Saving the day, and then obviously, like I said, finding the timing. Daps onto Dapper again, reloading. and recovering that from NRG, where, what, 25 seconds left to go. They have no control on the map. Android just says, screw it, I'm going to run in. We're all just going to go for this one. And off the back of EU's plays, going to find it. So squeezing Sentinels out, forcing another Thrifty, and they're just not finding enough cash here once again for Sentinels on Ascent.
Not at all. There is a Bucky and a judge in place, and well, we've seen a lot of successful moments from Sentinels with those weapons, but not this time. Sam teleporting into the back line. He's cleaned up 3. The door is now wide open to get onto the A site, and Shazam, well, what can you do? Would be highlight reel-esque, but only finds 1. Sam walks away the breadwinner here in round number 9 with 4 kills.
Yeah, uses the from the shadows there, nearly has it back again, 4K.
Exactly.
I mean, look at this line. They're kind of looking for him. This looks like a deathmatch game. You know, when else are you just here, surrounded by 3 people? Just here you go. There's a 3-piece. He looks like he heals and reloads off each kill as well, just like a DM game. 7-2 now. NRG taking control. I mean, we talk about Sentinels. Sometimes they need that comeback to happen. This is very much looking like that Ambox game. And in that Ambox game, at Ascent, the comeback did not happen.
Well, if there were to be a round for Sentinels to start manifesting something, it would be right here. 10s with an operator. You've got essentially a full buy in effect, which is the first time they've really been able to say that in a handful of rounds. Like you've mentioned, they have been in a great depression. And yeah, that's the big key. You have Sentinels all over the middle of the map, but all of the focus from the side of NRG is moving over through B main. Gravity Well will slow down the run it back. Dapper has already found 1 elimination on towards the site itself. Android pushing through. Reads information, but no kills to speak of. So 5v4 defensive advantage for Sentinels. Dapper on the side, able to find it through the Radianite crates, and that will be now a more steep advantage for Sentinels. 4v2 we go.
Android goes down to 10, so despite taking down Sec, I mean, the rest of the flank is going to be successful. And that Gravity Well completely ruins NRG. NRG want to make a quick play. They want to use run it back, but they're 5 stacking in B. A single Gravity Well pretty much ends your entire push because, I mean, your run it back's not going to get value. Meanwhile, we commented that Sentinels had full mid control, so 2 members from Sen were going to be able to very quickly rotate into tiles, straight into B main, into B lobby. And then even though Sick will go down, he still gets a 1-for-1. Shazam's there as well when Android doesn't realize it, picking up the kills, and, you know, Sentinels will get that 1 round back, still 7-3. Taking mid again. Good smoke to slow down 10s, though. Does have a dash available, might just push it.
Oh, sees the shoulder. Curveball comes through. 10 still finds first blood. Tag down to 10 HP, but how about Sick? Next one up, finds the kill. Sam able to respond to 1, but the opening engagement still largely successful for Sentinels defense as they have another early advantage in a 4v3.
That's the thing for Sentinels, right? Because they did that last round, but because they weren't spotted, NRG have no idea. They were not expecting that play. Both plays from Sentinels, the same ones, I believe. Not quite, yeah, well, 10s and Sick just pushing up. 10s knowing that he can just disengage, decides to make the aggressive play, gets rewarded, and they have still at least a 1-player advantage. 10's on low HP, so to play this one quite carefully. Spike is over towards B, and this is going to be EU just trying to buy time, hold 2 members over towards A, keep them busy, while allowing Som and Tex to maybe get it done over towards B.
Oh, but Tex, first one forward on 40 HP. Shazam does get spoken, at least into existence, but how about the play through the dark cover? Tex does find elimination. Now it isolates Soms on the site by themselves. Gravity Well to keep the alley safe. Also hearing footsteps to their left. Lear comes through. Zoms for the first steps to the second. Beautiful hold from Zoms, and it all comes down to EU 1v3. 10s did just see him, but it was simultaneously to him putting down the optic. Holds the second angle, finds the 3rd kill. Oh man, what a hold that is from Zoms.
Flick of the day, anybody? Does that count? Is that a flick? Is that the correct criteria? I mean, it's good enough for me. Holy cow. Zoms holding on. Jeez, like, B is just impenetrable at this rate. You got the Gravity Well stopping any rushes. You got Zoms just doing it all, really. These last few rounds have been very entertaining, very good from Sentinels. I mean, they were down by quite a lot. What was it, 7-2 at one stage?
Yep.
7-4 now. If one more goes the way of Sentinels, they've fully recovered on this half. Like, it's still 7 for NRG. Don't get me wrong, they still win that half. But 7-5, especially if you're on the 5 end, is, despite losing, like, not bad.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, considering the circumstances of how things started, getting to 7-5, I'm sure at one point in time maybe thought you could be more of an impossibility, but heck of a recovery. And actually, if you look at it from this point of view, NRG, this very well may be one of their last full buys if they do lose this. It's going to be interesting to see what their money is going to look like when they get out of this round, depending on what happens.
Minute left to play for. Control over towards A. You do see the layer coming through from Tex in grass as well, so they want to do a bit of a split here. Tens has got quite a bit of a job to do. That gravity wall, again, will just completely force NRG to back out. You have to respect the gravity wall. And as they start pulling away some of the utility, they're shifting off, but I don't know if they actually really want to go towards B and Tex dies. If Tex survives, maybe even gets a kill to Sick, they can return to A.
That was an Empress as well that was just completely negated. Now Sick on the run it back. Timing off the Nerdle that you thought might be good, but Daps does at least respond and then searches for the follow-up kill. Daps is completely isolated. That's a heck of a snap as well. Trying to hold the mid-map rotation. Zoms, though, no sturdy over towards the B site, does take away one. That might be good enough, as you do have Sentinels members that are making their way onto the site. Shazam being one, Sick being another. Each of them finding a kill, and Dapper once more finds his counterpart mid-map.
I mean, just that mid-play was incredible as well. Look, sure, the opening gravity wall is going to stop NRG. NRG start rotating off. And part of me, I'm thinking, you got the stars away, you got the utility out of A. You could actually rotate back. There's almost enough time to do so, but they need to maintain control over towards Catwalk. And Tex dying to Sick there, not ideal. And I thought, look, even with, who was it? I believe it was Daps who was caught out. Does at least take down the run and back, and I thought maybe he was in a little bit more trouble, gets a snap on, or at least recover things, but it's not enough to give them the round. So Sentinels officially, you can see from that, have actually recovered decently, and they were down by quite a decent amount. And if I look at the early rounds, they've lost the first 3, they pick up 2 in the middle, lost 4 in a row. So at one point, we absolutely had a 7-2, and at 7-2, you're expecting NRG to maybe go to 8, force an 8-4. Could be a 9-3, 8-4 is probably more realistic, but 5-7's good for Sentinels despite still losing.
How about this mid-take over towards B? Nebula, hot hands, denying any pressure. Tens even finding some spam through the smoke for a first blood. That's going to lead to a clean take for Sentinels onto the B site. Retake now required. Tens denying as he finds a second elimination. Curveball also coming out, but Alir was in the way, so nothing will really occur off of that. Som, big 1v1 here versus Dapper. Doesn't win it. In EU with the trade, this would have to be a 1v5. Finds a second. Has a little bit of utility to play with. The recon bolt will not find much of anything. And then, well, the last 3 Sentinel members are looking down Stair Alley. That'll be enough for, what is that now, 4 rounds in a row for Sentinels, continuing from the first half into the second.
Yeah, and they just walk through mid, total control of B. EU nearly with a couple of heroics there. I mean, last 2 kills are great. But not enough HP. Would have to get a lot of value off the recon, but even then, or was it 1v3? So Sentinel's definitely catching up. NRG, just stay calm though. I mean, it's fine. We'll get 7-7. You get to the gun round, then things will be back to where it's workable for NRG. NRG have been pretty solid on that first half. Again, NRG got those first 3 rounds. They got a lot of momentum off that, snowballing their way through. This time, they won't get the snowball rolling early. Will be Sentinels picking up that early pistol. Can we get a clean anti-eco from Sentinels? Or can NRG do the damage? Because those round 2s can be pretty tricky.
Yeah. A lot of pressure for Sentinels. Off the utility, just thrown through the middle of the map. Curveballs, smokes, owl drones all sent through. And they recognize that, okay, tree is currently safe. We can now push forward, make the exact same hit. But EU trying to foil the plans. Only walks away with a bit of damage onto 10. Zoms with first blood. Shockbolt was in a really great spot. And oh boy, the offense for Sentinels just all gas pedal right back onto the B site safely.
They don't even need to really respect too much of these pistols. That being said, though, every single Riptide that I've seen so far from NRG, Sheriffs have been pretty good.
No!
Bit of hilarity happening over here with the different reloadings and whatnot. Some bags coming up to the end as well. NRG, you know, how many Sheriffs they're walking with? Just the 2, Tex and Som. They, by the way, won a Thrifty. We did see NRG win a Thrifty with just Sheriffs on split. That was incredible. Just a couple of W. That was on B with Cosmic Divide coming down, and they just rushed through it and didn't even use a Seeker. Pistols only. Didn't happen here, though. So we head into that round 3. We're going to buy up all the rifles. Som doesn't have full armor. will have the paranoia though, and honestly, that paranoia is probably going to have a higher chance of winning you that round. Will be Tex first up. Does get gravity walled, has to try and back out. Is he going to lair?
Just going to try to respond by just getting onto the site itself. Sentinels looking to keep the same aggression, but they've been stalled a little bit more here as they have not found that first blood as of yet in EU. Good response out of the shock darts for one. Shots from Tens, not all that clean. He gets dealt with. Trade's looking okay, but maybe not good enough. Zombs on the site, nowhere to go. And NRG, I won't say that they more stacked over towards B, but they were ready for that aggression that time for sure to get back on the board.
And they need a round like that because NRG have been kind of blown away by this aggression for a couple rounds in a row, and they need a round where they can prove that you can't just walk into us, or in this case, run into us. You have, you know, 3 angles here, looking from the NRG POV, markets in their control. Obviously, they have spawn, and then they have players on site as well, so it's hard for Sentinels, or at least it should be, in theory, hard for Sentinels just to walk onto site. NRG holding their ground there, but they, you know, like you sort of mentioned, they did start 3 over towards B, and fortune favoring them there to have Sentinels kind of rush in when they were very prepared. Aldrin's going to check through into Wine, I believe, as well. On the other end, you have Tex tucked away into B main, so just checking over to see what Sentinel's doing, who, by the way, this round definitely slowing down a bit. They're not just running into a site. It's going to be a slow round. It's going to be a mid-round play from Sentinels. Zombs with only a Sheriff. The rest of this team does have a decent amount of weapons.
Hunter's Fury going to come through, run it back as well, both being used simultaneously. Sam able to back away through Garden. And how about the defensive Hunter's Fury? It actually does connect a bit onto Sick. It won't be enough for a first shot. Tens just dashes forward, taking the high ground away by brute force. That'll be good for a double, and now Sentinels, their first real attempt over towards A, will find a lot of value, to be fair. Tens finds some sort of a safe haven between the wall and the blaze. Android moving his way forward, and how about it? The wall actually does connect for a kill, so a little post-mortem death that's coming through for him. 2v2 situation. Retake still coming pretty fast and furiously, though, as EU finds an elimination. It's just down the Dapper. Cloudburst dissipates, finds the first, looking for the second, but Tex puts him down. And now a couple of rounds in a row for NRG to get on to 9.
Yeah, huge retake coming through from NRG. It was costly. Tex is the only one alive, but look at Android. I mean, that one tap that he does, dropping down from heaven, just completely murders Sentinels, and even then he will get a kill with, was it the Blaze Wall that got the kill, or the Hot Hands? I'm not too sure, but gets a kill with something like that. That kill into Zombs was so good, but Shazam walk into the fire, unfortunate.
Wow, okay. So you called that one pretty much to the T. Mid-round execute. All came through pretty quickly for Sentinels, but NRG once again responded to put Sentinels onto what is essentially a full eco here. Just a couple of pistol upgrades to speak of, and we'll see if they want to maybe just try to go aggressive once more. You can see that NRG are respecting that as they throw an early shock dart out, but it will not connect for too much. You also have the knives in play for Tens as they make their way once more through the middle of the map.
It's going to have to be Tens picking up this one big. Split B as well. You're getting ready to look at B main. That's where a lot of action will also come into play. Spike hasn't made it through, though. EU is saving this round for NRG. EU can definitely do more. And it could have been a third kill. Slows things down significantly. Just a couple of kills from EU in B main is going to allow NRG to start surrounding, start getting this retake going. And that could be enough.
As soon as Tens finds that first knife onto Taps while the wall is closing on him, you thought it was over. But you're absolutely right. EU, massive to slow up the hit, make the numbers a bit more even. Now you're going to get the Empress being popped. But Tens, with the knives, finds a second, wants the third. Now he's just down to one more knife to play with, completely flashed up, no chance. Shazam in the back of the site, 1v2 situation, both members fully healthy. Technically speaking, NRG, they could still use more if they need to, but the Empress is still in effect. Tex finds the kill, and also will be awarded the defuse no problem for 10.
I mean, they both have ultimates here. Tex with the Empress taking no chances. Knows this is a very important round. You can't give this away to Sentinels. You can't allow them to recover momentum. Sentinels, they don't have the money. You don't want to give them a thrifty here. You put 10 on the board for NRG, and it was looking like a possible good hit from Sentinels. You talked about the 10s frag over in mid, in market. That side of the map was successful for Sentinels, but EU put a major stop on towards B main. And if he got that third kill, it would have been an even more favorable round for NRG. But just getting the 2 and dying is what gives NRG the opportunity to get the retake going. Now we got a real game on our hands. 10 and 7. NRG are not out of this. They got 3 more to go through. winning this round would be so huge.
Early Hunter's Fury going to come through, but it is NRG who find first blood. It's Dapper lingering through the middle of the map. Zom, though, will be dealt with as Sick makes his way forward. Spike is not a part of this hit as of yet, but it's quick to try to transition over. So for NRG, what's going to be the retake? They've got to run it back if they want it. And you can see that Android is trying to make his way over through tree, using the Owl drone to push him even further forward. And as Zoms gets the spike planted, how do you get this retake going? It's going to have to be, you feel like, from the run it back. I was about to say, but looking to clear up some space. Dap's working with them off screen. Sick over the top, just waiting to get an angle towards these members over towards Heaven. It's just a curveball, just a delay. There's the second. Here comes Tens on the run it back. Not going to find anything, but Daps is able to find his trade. 1 for 1 they go. Zom's able to take down one more, and as Sick holds the site, NRG will be bounced away in a huge round for Sentinels to make it just a 2-round game.
Looks like the flash from Android doesn't connect as well. Looks like a bad flash, possibly a self-flash there. So the running back's not going to find the value. The recon goes through, and that's usually the go sign. When EU drops in the recon, you got to start moving. And so trying to connect that play up, but Sentinels persistent, the tenacity to hold on to that round and shutting down the running back, especially putting themselves on to 8. Recovering a bit of money as well. It seems like it's been a while since Sentinels have won a round. They've been eco after eco after eco, and speaking of which, because NRG have won rounds, they still have taken a lot of losses. Notice that NRG have lost a lot of members every single round that they've won, so that's why their equipment still not looking great here. Trying to make the marshals work, spamming through the smoke, hoping for anything.
Dapper slightly tagged down to 80 HP. Secondary peak coming through. Beautiful transfer from Tens. Texas playing the off angle. Now Sick wants to move aggressive. Hot hand just to flush out the corner. Neural Theft will be spent. And Sentinels with a major advantage in a 5v4, trying to get their 9th round. The spike is rotating mid-map. Trapwire will reveal this play. Recon bolt will also be spent. Daps, can you find a kill here? Sure will. We'll get the first. EU gets a second and the third. So the entire play for Sentinels shut down, and NRG working for a thrifty until Sick has something to say about it. Shazam trying to work from behind, and well, as Sick finds the third, we get a 1v1. Android has collected a weapon, and they know the spike is down. Shazam has to grab this, and he sneaks it away. 35 seconds, plenty of time to play for. It just down to who peeks first. Shazam holds it, gets the shot in line, and Sentinels salvage the round to bring it just to 1.
I don't know if Android had the line or not, but you actually saw them. The silhouette, he was peeking away for a second. He turned around. I don't know if he was trying to hold the line, whether he could actually see the spike or not, but Shazam picking that one, walking away, and then the patience to know Android's just around the corner. Hold the line against Android, let him peek, find the headshot. Sentinels make it happen versus what was almost a successful thrifty for NRG. I mean, EU goes large again. Some on a Spectre. Playing off Daps, who was also in market. The two of them spraying down, getting 2 kills and getting it really close, honestly. Sentinel's not comfortable. Won't have the money. Run it back. Oh, it's Hunter's Fury.
Very quick. You see there's a lot of information as well kind of tagged through. Hunter's Fury trying to respond. Sam does well to find Tens and make sure the run it back gets sent to its original location. Text just through the tree off screen. Also able to find 2, but the play stays alive as Zoms finds a counter frag, and now it's a 2v3 situation favoring NRG's defense.
Divide coming down, actually, so that's coming through from Zoms. The problem is the Cosmic Divide, yeah, cuts off Heaven, but you got to deal with the players close by. Smoke is going to successfully slow things down. The Cage as well, that's going to give cold feet over to Sentinels. And the ultimate, not going to do too much for Zoms or Shazam. At least they have just under 50 seconds. Could they think about rotating? They have no other control of the map. They don't have mid. And at this point, they'd be up against Daps.
Yeah.
You still have to have Zoms crossing. Zoms can't successfully cross it. He'll, or at least stop anyone from peeking him properly. You did have Som at least, you know, jumping, peeking to have a look.
30 seconds left.
And they have to run for this one. They have to believe that nothing is over towards B. This camera is available. Does spot Shazam on the rotation. At this point, NRG, they got to get a move on.
Well, the good news here is that Shazam does have the spike for Sentinel, so they can get this down, and it should be relatively safe, but that's making a lot of sound. Shazam finds the kill for free. Oh, that decision very well could come back to bite NRG in the butt, as now Sam comes forward through market. Single Chow. Tex needs to respond to a 1v2. Finds the first. We'll get an overheal off of that. So back to 150 health, just to the 91, plus 31 shields out of Shazam.
2 layers.
And maybe an Empress if you really need it, but it's going to be down to how do you want to clear this? And it's just the first angle chosen. Tex locks the headshot up, and NRG go up 11-9.
Flash not even required, apparently. He's got 2 layers, won't spend any of them. Just lock it onto the head of Shazam, that'll do it. Shazam winning that first duel versus Daps, and I said NRG got to get a move on because they have spotted Shazam rotating over. You got to start getting this retake going because the plant you'd have to expect, but like you said as well, Alan, it's like Daps is making a lot of noise. They don't know Zoms is still in towards B, man. They're expecting that, like, Zoms is probably close by. He's probably on site as well. Though he was rotating fairly late, and then Tex with that final shot, that was pretty dicey. Shazam could have also have won that. So Tex took a bit of a risk try peeking it, but he will land the shot required. 11 now for NRG, and 2 more to go to bring us to a map 3.
You do have to kind of keep an eye, though, on NRG. Even though they win the round, it was only with a single member. So you've got Sam on a judge.
Most of their rounds.
Yeah, it's true. Couple of players with light armor as well. So even though the round win feels favorable for NRG, Sentinels still have a chance to fight back, but Tex confirming first blood to the middle of the map is a massive win, clearing out space, and now Sentinels essentially have to try to clear this, and Tex will allow them a chance to get his counter trade. So now we go to a very early 4v4 situation.
Tex may be overstaying his welcome, but he's also not a Jit. He can't just get himself away, and there's smokes there. Would have to require Som to help him out. So that's one player advantage. Goes wide very quickly. Tens doesn't have a gun, but does have the Blade Storm. Daps will have to do a great job here. You'll know that one person is at least in, and instantly Tens decides to dive in, and Daps finishes him off in EU as well for a couple. That could be the round found. Indeed it is. 3 kills for EU, and they hold B. Just the 2 players. It's all you need.
Daps just completely goes massive to shut down Tens on that little snapper. Right outside of his camera being deleted, the push through comes out, and Daps turns to grab Tens, and then EU once again colossal for the defensive hold of NRG. He's up to 21 total kills, and now map point for NRG, trying to send this to a third, which would be Haven, and Sentinels are broken with what they have to battle with in this round.
EU's been big both maps. I mean, he got like how many Seekers again on that split? He was top fragger. And now he's been saving multiple rounds. I mean, how many double kills he's going to get per round, just spraying down, transferring, stopping Sentinels from aggressing, defending B successfully. I mean, a lot of these Bs haven't gone well because of it. This time, though, Sig will get the kill to Tex. Maybe market is open. EU's on the other side of the wall. Isn't going to be able to do too much from that angle. Can they hold on? It's Daps and EU again.
Oh, the Aldrone actually, I don't think actually gets a tag off, so Daps was hoping that he'd stay in this nebula, maybe find a free kill. Sentinels have made their way forward, and the information will be largely unknown from NRG's defensive POV. As far as where they're positioned, Spike will be planted. Hunter's Fury is going to come through. That's going to clear some space, but not really find too much as far as damage value is concerned. Dapper needs to find this first kill, and Andrew gets caught looking the wrong way. More consideration as Dapper continues to look left, right, upside down, inside out. Here comes the next hit from Som up the middle, but there's good help from Sig. Dapper able to turn around, but it's Tens. Crossfire, easy elimination. Sentinels stay alive, looking to send this to an OT.
And Sick opens that up over towards market as well. Very quickly, Sentinels just make their way on towards B. Full market control gives confidence to the rest of the members from B main to also push on through. And the rest of the defense on Energy locked out via smoke, so this time Daps and EU aren't just going to completely destroy the Sentinels offense. They're trapped over towards spawn and don't have the confidence to push in, or I mean, obviously that's probably too risky. Putting themselves onto an eco as well, so Sentinels maybe catching themselves back into this game off. Honestly, a very fast play, and they've been very slow recently. I mean, they had some very fast starts in the early rounds.
Yeah.
And then they played a lot for mid rounds, and after changing tempo, that catches NRG out.
Oh boy. Well, this should be 11 unless some absolutely incredible one-taps come through, which you never want to rule out, especially when you've got players like Android and Tex on the other side. But for Sentinels, you just got to get through this cleanly. Get to 11, go into one more full buy round in which you could potentially see overtime. It just comes down to what is going to be the decision making to actually execute in this round. And, well, that camera will actually catch out that Tex was trying to get aggressive through B main.
There's no plays here for NRG. They're kind of just waiting the round out, playing very safe. And what's probably going to happen here is NRG are at risk of being run over, where if Sentinels decide at any point they want to speed up, and Sentinels have to do some work to, you know, really use your utility, find where NRG are likely holding. They don't want to walk into a trap. Because we're playing quite slow on the Sentinel side of things, NRG have managed to group up heavily over towards A, and that hot hands as well coming through from, I believe it was Andrew, really slows things down.
Sick gonna go immediately in as he tries to hit the run it back. Shazam, shock bolt for the first blood. Second shots will come through. Tens finds the third, and what is largely a setup that was influenced by the fact that Tex is on the flank. He will not actually be able to make all that good on it, as there was a trap wire to conceal it anyways. So it's 5v1. Tex just trying to do as much damage as possible, but regardless of what happens here, Sentinels, you would have wanted to win this round cleanly, and they absolutely should. And there it is. 4 kills for Shazam, assisting in the effort, and we'll go to a round 24. It's either OT or a map 3. We'll find out after this round.
I mean, honestly, that was, for NRG, not bad, because as far as they're concerned, there's not much more you can do on a pistol like that. They scout out over towards B after Tex gets pushed away, allows a rotation to put 4 members on A, hot hands even from Android to slow down anything from Sentinels, and that gives time, or at least should give time, for Tex to make the long flank over. If they can actually get that flank going, get the pinch, they might be able to do more in that round. So unfortunate that they couldn't quite challenge to run it back coming through from second. Now, like you said, last round in regulation before we hit to either OT or a map win for NRG. And
Massive.
Look at that EU.
First blood plus some more on the Shazam. I was about to say it's full buy v full buy, but Android has the advantage against Sick, seeing that he's got the run it back and Sick does not. Tex also has the Empress, so a little bit of extra tools that could be used here for NRG. And the first one is that Hunter's Fury for me, you to find first blood plus a little extra. So now Sentinels have to find a way to open up, and whoa, it's a leg tag onto Android. Fortunate to be alive, will back up to self-sustain a touch, but Sentinels, their hit is on the way.
Sick's positioning is really, really good. No one knows that he here. He's going to swing. Oh, his timing was great, but the shots don't quite connect, and Sam gets out alive on 9 HP. Shazam will take down EU, so that's the top player from NRG down early. This retake has got to be really, really good now. Android and Tex on the ultimates, like you said. 4 versus 4, but Sam, he's 1 shot away.
They're all holding sight, with the only exception being Dapper from behind. Here comes the run it back. Recon Bolt's not going to see anything. The whole retake from the side of NRG is going to come right through, but the Cyber Cage is beautifully placed. Zombs finds one. Still waiting for the Empress. Well, actually, it's not going to come through because the Empress falls. So now the retake has to be straightforward. Dapper finds a second. He's going to get more than that, and we're going to see overtime. Sentinels hanging on. We'll see you in round 25.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Which is right now. No waiting for round 25. Sentinels bring it back. Oh my goodness, that opening Hunter's Fury really put the hurt on. And then following that, A successfully taken. I mean, this hold over towards 3, 2 players crossfiring almost, stopping anything from NRG from, you know, getting value. I mean, Tex the Empress getting shut down. Android's running back can only get so much mileage. Sam on no HP there. EU did early, so no recon, no heroics, because EU has been the guy for heroics so far for NRG, and now as we start moving forward is Sick on 22, by the way, so I don't know, is it the Sick backpack again? We'll see. At least everyone's got money now. Into OT we go.
That's such a big call as well, just to kind of capitalize on that one more time. Knowing that there's a run it back and an Empress, you're just going to hold up on the door and play opposite 50-50 peaks, to where you know for a fact maybe at worst they get a 1-for-1 exchange. Really good stuff from Sentinels. But now it's on to NRG. Their offense, Spike, will be laid over round Gelato. You've got 2 members for NRG kind of floating towards B and mid, but not a lot of noise being created. And actually, Sentinels getting a little bit of cold feet with their initial setup will rotate Shazam over, and a recon bolt will also be spent. Ensel
has the angle, though. This is the most important thing. Tens can absolutely get a first frag here. He's going to spend the dash, so, you know, obviously Glass Cannon, as we are in the OT, has no util left to work with. Still has the shot over towards A main if required. Spike gets picked up, 40 seconds left to go, and there it is, we're going B.
Oh, and the gravity well does not do enough. Tex finds first blood. He can hold this cyber cage and dark cover combination just to make sure nobody pushes through. The spike is still on the way. Watch the cross, though. Sick is going to try to hold this. The blaze wall comes through to deny visibility, but the timing could still be favorable. Sick pushes through, finds one. He's going to grab a second. The spike is still in hand and making its way forward, but NRG are down numbers. Andrew with the quick plan. Tens able to respond to Tex. It's all up to these last two NRG members on the site itself. And the retake could really just overwhelm. They could go 2-2. They know they've got Dap stuck in a corner. It's just down to Android. Clean first kill. Avoids the sniper of the second, but needs to choose where he's going to take his next battle. Not going to get the win. Zombs clutches things up, and Sentinels, they break blood first here in OT.
It's a big round from Sek. Huge round. Having some mid control, almost getting the cross, by the way. You got 3 members, including the spike carrier from NRG, making their way from spawn. Because they're late rotating from A. They canceled A, rotated through spawn into tiles, and this is what we're talking about. EU even coming back to challenge, by the way. I mean, he probably knew maybe he gets that one because low HP on Sek, but Sek collecting the double. Shazam getting a kill as well. Android by himself after planting, just the only player alive, NRG. Sentinels get this around, and they hold on to A, they go and retake B, and both sites for them are successful.
Revealing area.
Oh man, the heat's been kicked up here in the kitchen, that's for darn sure. Ten's looking to get aggressive. Wait, timing, not gonna get the better of Tex. Only a couple of shots landing into the armor, largely of him. So first blood confirmed for NRG. Hot Hands will actually come over the top, pushing some away from the spike site, but this was never going to be an execute. Dapper responds to a kill mid-map. It's the same situation where Tex finds one, but like you mentioned from a couple of rounds ago, he just can't get away.
Aldron's trying to clear things out as well. Not too sure if it found information because you had Dapper just hiding away underneath the stairs. Dap's his turn to push up now, looking for information. We'll see the head. It's going to be Dap versus Dap again. The Dap brothers going for the 1v1, but at least it will be a cage. Get Daps out of the situation. Tree is still in the control of Sentinels, rather NRG. For Sentinels, though, what do they have? Let's take a look. Not a lot to work with currently. Looking to maybe rotate over towards B main, but they got nothing there. It'll be Zombs up first to try and clear corners.
And look where the traps are set up right now from Dapper's POV. He's got a camera that can check the rotation through mid and trap wires to keep him safe. So they just need to find a way to break through this. And the defensive camera is down. Cyber cage coming through. It's a one-way, but Daps cannot make use out of it. Now the hit. He's got to respond to the pressure up close and personal. Zombs gets turned around, but oh, it's going to be Shazam for one elimination. They know that EU stuck in the back. The rest of the defense starting to rotate forward. Sick making his play into the dark cover. EU takes the win. Just down the Dapper. 1v3. Finds the first, backs away. No time to get the spike down. And well, there will not be enough time for him to capitalize on the kills either.
Switching sides. Overtime.
It's going to be EU and Daps holding on again. Daps with the opening spray, unsuccessful. The one-way cage, giving him some advantage, but couldn't quite get the kills done. EU, on the other hand, will find a couple that are required. And fortunately, time running out there for Sentinels. Had to cancel over towards mid, cancel over towards any aggression, walk towards B with no information. Again, they had nothing set up over towards B. Completely dry. Just have to make it happen with the 4 of them. We're going to take ourselves to a round 27 now. As no operator for 10s this time. Onto the rifle with Tilly.
Oh!
And will get rewarded.
An even exchange. Six still wants to hold the angle. Finds a second kill. Brings us to a 4v3. Shazam still holding mid-map. I think they know that they've got Tex maybe caught out here as well. Shock Dart maybe gives us our answer, but it will not connect fully. Tex still holding the angle as well. And he's going to have to find another elimination here. The spike is rotating for NRG over towards B main. So that means that whatever happens mid-map will largely dictate what happens with these numbers. Either it's going to be a 4v2 and mid-map will be controlled by Sentinels, or Tex can hold his ground. This will be a good opportunity for NRG to execute to B.
It's all Dapper now. Dapper versus all of NRG, or at least what's left of NRG. Shazam slowly making his way back over towards B. This time being bought could give Shazam the opportunity. Recons come in. Here it is. Trapwire will slow things down. Gravity well as well. I mean, look at the gravity well. It's completely ruined the push. Dapper's got the 2 kills via the cage. And that might be enough. Just Dap's alive. 1 versus 4.
No need for more defensive members, they say, or maybe there will be. Daps is able to clean up on 2. This would be a 1v4. He's got 11 HP and will have the spike post plant to play off of. Cage will go down immediately, just trying to make sure that he can clear some space towards his right. The retake on the way. Sees the first. Zombs quick on the trigger. Gets the elimination, and Sentinels again go up the advantage in their second overtime.
All right. Whew. Yeah, that one interesting there towards the end there. Just a couple more kills coming on through. And this hold, I mean, you gotta credit the team value here. Zombs, he might be far away, but he's in the exact right position. Anywhere on the map, you can activate the gravity well. Gravity well plus the one-way cage, and then Dapper getting the spray transfers, accurate shots to land, and NRG gets shut down. He's like the only one on site, but in terms of utility, it feels like Sentinels are all there.
Yeah, sure does. Similar look here for Sentinels off the rip.
Take sniping.
It's a very solid point, and he's going to be playing this top side A alongside 2 members. It is just full ARs for Sentinels, and they're once again going to use the Owl Drone to clear space through the middle of the map, and this trap wire will be deleted, and then immediately the push through starting to come out. Sick. Gonna need to be responsible for multiple angles. 10's dashing forward, trying to catch some information. The hit for B main, not there yet. 6 gonna help try to clear. Finds the first, does not turn around though. EU, good for a double, not more beyond that. But androids come through to keep the middle of the map safe, which means that Sentinels are largely just gonna have to try to work their way through B main. First op shot, just a bit wide from finding any kills. Second peek, gonna be on favor for Dapper. Now over the top, 2v2 situation. The spike is not on site though. And how about the call? Shazam's gonna be re-wrapping over through mid.
Yeah, but Dapper's stuck. Oh, he can't get out of the situation. 4 HP cleaned up by Android. And Android and EU have probably saved the round here for NRG. Big risk by Tex to take the operator into this round. I mean, he's got no armor and only 1 orb to try and heal or dismiss. No layers. Misses the only shot he took. Now 1 versus 2, 30 HP for Shazam, but he does have a recon. He will need to find that first kill instantly and hope he doesn't get shot, because he is 1 shot away.
Quickly coming. He's gonna find the first for the win. No! Android denies on 22 HP. And we're gonna keep on going here on Ascend map 2.
It's the defensive rounds, man. These defensive rounds have been good for both teams.
Switching sides.
And trust EU to at least go for a 2K. Again, always good for 2. Especially on B defense. It's EU and Daps hiding away in B main. Crossfire set up as well. Yeah, Sika's going to clear it. He's going to use his flash, try and walk through. He'll only get the 1. And then EU responding with 2 kills really makes that a lot more workable for NRG. Because otherwise, I mean, if it's a 2v2, or any better numbers for Sentinels could easily go the way of Sentinels. 30 HP for Shazam. No teammates to work with. Sentinels back on the defense, and I mean, both teams are struggling with OT to try and attack.
Lot of information off this opening recon. And Tens makes good on it, finds the first. Damage onto more, sees the weapon barrel of Android. Curveball comes through, that'll push him back. And quick to threaten. Texas looking to make his way forward, even still on 20 HP. Lear coming out. This completely alleviates the operator pressure mid-map, but the problem is you're still working into a 4v5.
Yeah, I think what might have happened there is maybe Tex got legged by Tens. Not too sure how he took 130 damage, but most likely culprit is come through from Tens, who gave the first blood over to Sentinels, now working 5v4. Just under a minute here for NRG, and no real space to work with. They don't have quite control anywhere. They have now received a main. Yep, we'll clear that one. Tree is up next. Notice a star on the ground. That star could really pose some issues.
Oh, 6 stops throwing shoulders at the wrong time, but nobody checks for Zombs. First blood good. Android looking for the response. Curveball coming through. Tries to deny. Zombs still alive, but runs out of ammunition. The trades go pinstripe in the kill feed, and it leaves EU 1v3, but only 10 HP. No spike. Ten's watching the angle. There's the shoulder. Baits out the shots. Shazam cleans things up, and we stay all defense through OT.
Yeah, star or no star, Zoms is going to be there. He can't believe his luck. It's just a player walking to his crosshair like, that's a freebie. Doesn't get the second, but will allow Sentinels to converge. We go for another defense here. NRG, again, both teams have had great defenses in this OT. What are NRG going to pick up? Tex had the operator last time, didn't work out, wouldn't recommend it again. And he seems to agree. Phantom plus utility. Tens, though, he's feeling himself. He's like, I hit some good shots on that op.
It's coming through aggressive Avril. It's coming through aggressive Avril. Oh, but the shock dart beats him to the punch. So the first shot goes right, but Dapper able to find one. Trying to push, trying to capitalize on the mispositioning here, maybe for NRG's defense. And they do actually technically have EU on the site by himself. Defense quickly trying to rotate. An android from behind has found one. Aldrone scouting on information. EU good, but only for a single. Som now from the front needs to keep their life. 3v3 situation, spike being planted. Android gonna see some intel. Ten's peeking, misses, tag down low. Android for the first. Looking for more beyond that. Blazewall comes out. That'll capitalize on a kill. And no chance for Zoms. Send it back. Another OT coming up.
30 rounds, Android picking up some massive frags there. Slightly on the off angle, doesn't go down to tens. And the Blaze will get him the kill. They're happy about that one. EU still gets a frag there. Dap's not so lucky. Maybe tens on the offensive operator, not quite as, certainly didn't get the value, but you got to play a slow round. I don't know about that one. If you want to play fast, I'm not feeling tens on the operator for that one. You want to be going full rifles to really run into B. Round number 31 here. Just trying to see if there's anything interesting. Ten's thinking about going to the operator. Makes a lot more sense on the defense. Thinking hard about it. Been good. Yeah, he knows it's been good. He's going to go for it.
Another aggressive angle maybe being chosen over this time to A. Nebula to keep the elevation peak safe. Looking for the one-way. Nothing is going to challenge, though. Not initially. NRG will see a little bit of information off the Aldrone. Tens has not moved. Sees nobody up top. Here's the footsteps. Whip misses the shot. Now NRG moving quickly. They find first blood. Som trying to teleport onto the site itself, but denied. Som's trying to hold, and it's just going to be Sick who's required. 3 for Sick. He's been so good in the tournament. Comes through massive once more. Run it back will be spent. EU now absolutely revealed. Decent shock dart, though. Maybe an opportunity for him to push back some of these defenders and give him a realistic look at trying to get this 1v4 off the ground.
EU versus the world here. Yeah, I mean, he's got way too many players on the central side of things. Give it to Sick. He's got 4 kills this round, which means I believe he's hit 30. I wouldn't be surprised if we have multiple players here hitting 30. There it is. Sick's got the 30 bomb. Shazam's on his way as well. EU obviously one away too. And this just triple kill from Sick, and EU revealing his positioning. Another successful defense, and we're going to keep this one going, at least for now. Can NRG get a good defense, though? Because both teams have had great defenses on these OTs. That's been the trend. Somebody's got to break the trend. For this OT to end, someone's going to have to win an attacking round.
Hey, man, both of these teams carry defensive win rates that are incredible. 60% for Sentinels, 71% for NRG. It's why we're seeing this defensive battle come through. Sentinels looking to get aggressive once more, this time with 4 rifles. Hot hands in a beautiful position once more, but Som still cannot respond to tens on the high ground elevation play. Recon Bolt will not reveal too much of anything. EU hoping for some shock dart connection. Spike is planted. Could this be the round? 5v4, Tex playing for the long flank. Has to try to get here quickly, and he's going to have to go through 2 Sentinels members that are playing through A long. Android from tree. Nothing to see. Tex falls. Sentinels, 5v3 situation. Android on the way in. Trying to find the first. Is able to connect, but still falls. 2v4 situation. Daps for now. The last player. Not going to find it. Sentinels take it in our last OT. They make it into the grand finals in 2 maps.